Dear students, in this video we are going to learn about the biochemical tests used for the identification of the bacteria. To identify the bacteria, we must rely on the biochemical tests. There are some types of biochemical reaction which each organism undergoes differently, so they act as thumbprint for their identification. So many species of the bacteria carrying out different and unique sets of biochemical reaction. So their activity is taken as the basis for their identification. So we'll see what are biochemical tests. Biochemical tests determines the bacterial carbon dioxide requirement, H2S production, urease activity, and growth inhibition by thionine or basic fustrins, or some test that is these will be based on fermentation of sugars or their other biochemical properties which will be used for their identification, which includes nitrate reduction, urease test, H2S production, methylene blue reduction, catalase production, oxidase reduction, etc. We will see one by one. The very first test is the catalase test. So, and oxidase test. These are here we can see that the biochemical tests are the definitive way to identify the bacterial species. The growth media will grow the bacteria, and these tests will be helpful to identify the bacterial species. So very first test is the catalase test. Catalase test involves the enzyme catalase, which is a coenzyme found in nearly all living organisms which gets exposed to oxygen. It catalyzes the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide to water and oxygen. It is important because it protects the cell from the oxidative damage by reactive oxygen species. Catalase test is used to differentiate staphylococci, that is catalase positive, and from streptococci, which are catalase negative. The enzyme catalase is produced by the bacteria that respire using oxygen and protects them from the toxic byproducts of the oxygen metabolism. The enzyme catalase mediates the breakdown of hydrogen peroxide into oxygen and water. The presence of enzyme in a bacterial isolate is evident when a small inoculum is introduced into hydrogen peroxide, and there will be rapid elaboration of oxygen bubble, which can be seen here. This particular test tube is having the effervescence like structure, that is bubbles of the oxygen occurring. Here we cannot see these bubbles, so this particular is the catalase negative test. Or on a slide, if we are putting one drop of H2O2, then we can observe the bubbles of the oxygen coming. So this particular test will be positive for that organism, and if there are no bubbles of oxygen, then that test will be negative. For catalase test, we have to take 1 to 2 ml of hydrogen peroxide, which will be taken into test tube, or it will be poured into the test tube, which will be containing the solution of the bacteria. Then we can have use of a wooden stick or a glass rod to take the several colonies of the organism, and these will be immersed into the hydrogen peroxide solution, and the immediate bubbling will be observed. Here another method that I have told you, this will be called as tube method, and this will be known as slide method. Now in the slide method, a loopful suspension is taken on the glass slide, and small colonies, that is smear, will be taken here. Then a drop of 3% H2O2 is added, and the evolution of oxygen bubbles will be observed. So examples: Staphylococci, Micrococci, Listeria. These are some examples which are going to show the positive test. There are very few examples, that is some of the Streptococcus and Enterococcus species can show negative test as well. Now the second test is oxidase test. The oxidase test is used to identify This oxidase test is used to identify bacteria that produces cytochrome C oxidase, which is an enzyme of the bacterial electron transport chain. All the bacteria that are oxidase positive are aerobic, and they can use oxygen as a terminal electron acceptor in the respiration. This does not mean that they are strict aerobes. I will repeat. All the bacteria that are oxidase positive are aerobic and can use oxygen as a terminal electron acceptor in the respiration. This does not mean that they are strictly aerobes. In this test, how the oxidase test is performed, that vigorously the mixing of culture is done, and it will be observed for the color change. So if the microorganisms are oxidase positive, then the color changes to blue within 15 to 30 seconds. So this blue color will be observed. If there is no blue color on the paper, then it shows that this particular test is negative. Here, the oxidase test detects the presence of cytochrome oxidase system that catalyzes the transport of electrons between electron donors, and the dye which is used is tetramethylparaphenyl So the dye is reduced to deep purple color. Hence this test will be positive. So example is the Pseudomonas naegeria, and some reagent which is used here is the Kovacs oxidase reagent, which is containing 1% tetramethylparaphenylene diamine dihydrochloride in water. Or there are some also other reagents which are possibly used. Here the oxidase positive bacteria which possesses the cytochrome oxidase or endophenol oxidase, both will catalyze the transport of electrons from donor compounds to electron acceptor. The test reagent, that is tetramethylparaphenylene diamine dihydrochloride, acts as an artificial electron acceptor for the enzyme oxidase. The oxidized reagent forms the blue colored endophenol that will be blue in color. So cytochrome system, which is usually only present in the aerobic organisms which are capable of utilizing the oxygen as the final hydrogen acceptor. The end product of this metabolism is either water or hydrogen peroxide. The oxidase test is used to determine if an organism possesses the cytochrome oxidase enzyme or not. This test is also will be useful for differentiating the Neisseria, Moxarella, Campylobacter and Pasteurella species which are oxidase positive. It is also used to differentiate the Pseudomonads from the related species. Here the filter paper test is called, this example is of the filter paper test. Another we can go for direct plate method or swab method. These three are the different techniques by which the same test can be performed. For the dry filter paper method, strip of Whatman's, this is Whatman's #1 filter paper, which will be soaked in the solution of tetramethyl paraphenylene diamine dihydrochloride. Then after draining for about 30 seconds, the strips are freeze dried and stored in a dark bottle which will be sealed. Then when we are going to use these strips, one strip will be removed and it will be kept in a petri dish and it will be moistened with the distilled water. Then the colony which is to be tested, it will be picked up with a platinum loop and it will be smeared here. That is, strip will be taken and the smear will be placed here. So if there is a positive reaction, then it can show intense purple deep blue color within 5 to 10 seconds, or sometime a delayed positive reaction is also seen, which can be done or which will be obtained in 10 to 60 seconds, and a negative reaction by absence of coloration, so this will be oxidase negative. Or we can have the direct plate method, where 2 to 3 drops of reagent directly to the suspect colonies on the agar plate and it will be added the reagent, and we have to observe the color change on the plates. Or sometime we can go for use of Kovacs oxidase reagent, which also shows the dark purple color change. And if we are going to use the other reagents, then also the color changes, but the color change will be either red or black, other than Kovacs reagent if we are using. So there are example like Gordon or MacLeod reagent. These two, Gordon reagent shows the red color while the MacLeod reagent shows the black color. So by this technique also we can go. Or swab method. So for the swab method, a deep swab into reagent and then that particular swab will be touched to the colonies and we have to observe the color change. So like earbud, it will be the swab. So on that cotton surface we can see the color change, what color change we are observing here. So this will be the third type of oxidase test, where the solution of 1% alpha naphthalene and 0.3 of 1% para-amino dimethylene oxidase will be used. Okay, so this is about catalase test and oxidase test. Next we'll see the urease test. Basically, the urease test is performed to determine the ability of an organism to hydrolyze the urea by the action of urease enzyme. Urea is a nitrogen containing compound that is produced during decarboxylation of the amino acid arginine in the urea cycle. That is, in the urea cycle, urea is the major product. So urea is a major organic waste product of the protein digestion in most of the vertebrate, and it is excreted through urine. So some bacteria also have the ability to produce an enzyme urease as a part of its metabolism to break down the urea. The urease is a hydrolytic enzyme which attacks the carbon and nitrogen bond with the liberation of ammonia and carbon dioxide. So it is useful as a diagnostic test for identifying the bacteria, especially if we have to distinguish between the protease from the gram-negative, and protease vulgaris is an important and fast producer of the urease. Urease test is performed by growing test organisms on a urea agar slant or urea broth with phenol red as a indicator, which will be having pH 6.8. During the incubation period, the organism is capable of producing the urease enzyme and it hydrolyzes the urea into the ammonia and water. So it raises the pH level. Due to formation of ammonia, the pH is now changed from acidic to the alkaline condition. So due to this, whatever indicator we have used, phenol red, that will be able to show the color change, because indicator is able to show the color change when the pH of the solution changes. So here the phenol red will show the color change. That is, it will be showing the color change from yellowish orange. It will be initially to deep pink. So pink color formation. Here we can see the pink color. So this pink color indicates the test is positively. Initially it will be yellow in color. So if there is a conversion of urea into ammonia, then due to formation of ammonia, here the alkaline pH is maintained, and due to that alkaline pH, the phenol red shows the color change from yellow to pink, and we can see that this particular test is positive. For this test you have to take a slant, that is urea agar slant. Then you have to take the colonies, then add a phenol red on that and incubate it for at 37 degrees Celsius for 24 to 48 hours, and then we have to examine the development of pink color. If the sample is unknown to us, then we have to incubate the same sample for 7 days, and we have to check whether there is a slow urease production or not. This will be urease test. Then comes is the hydrogen sulfide production test. Some organisms decompose the sulfur containing amino acids producing H2S gas. So H2S will be the product. And when it is cultured in the media containing lead acetate, they turns them black. So H2S will be showing the black color formation when it is reacted with the lead acetate. If instead of lead acetate, ferric ammonium citrate or ferrous acetate if we are using, then also similar results will be obtained. So whichever organisms are grown, that cotton plug they will be placed inside the tube, and a filter paper strip will be soaked in a 10% lead acetate solution. It will be dried and it will be inserted. So if the filter paper shows the browning of the filter paper, then it indicates the H2S production, or we can see that in the SIM medium we can observe the black color formation. This is what about urease test and hydrogen sulfide production test. Next is the methylene blue reduction test and nitrate production test. Methylene blue reduction test is based on the fact that a color imparted to milk by the addition of a dye such as methylene blue will disappear more or less quickly. The removal of oxygen from milk and the formation of reducing substances during metabolism causes the color to disappear. Here, 1 drop of 1% aqueous methylene blue is added to the broth culture. It will be incubated at 37 degrees Celsius. If there is a complete decolorization, that is from blue to complete colorless, then it will be shown strongly positive. If it shows the green color, then it shows weakly positive test. That means that much reduction is not occurring, or it is having little bit capacity low. This methylene blue reduction test will be only involving the addition of methylene blue. Methylene blue reduction test is not that much popular because it is having very low correlation with the other bacterial procedures. It is most related for the testing of the milk, so it is not that much popular as compared to other tests which are used for the identification of the bacteria. Next test is the nitrate production test. The organisms which are capable to produce the nitrate reductase enzyme, which is able to reduce the nitrate present in the broth, it will be having the capacity to convert the nitrate to nitrite, and this will be further reduced to nitric oxide, nitrous oxide or nitrogen. In this particular test, the anaerobic metabolism requires an electron acceptor other than the atmospheric oxygen. So many gram-negative bacteria uses the nitrate as the final electron acceptor. So nitrate reduction test is a test that determines the production of an enzyme called nitrate reductase. which results in the reduction of nitrate. Bacterial species may be differentiated on the basis of their ability to reduce the nitrate to nitrite or nitrogenous gases. Here, first the nitrate NO3 will be converted to nitrate NO2, then it will be further reduced to nitric acid, that is NO, then nitrous oxide, that is N2O, and finally to nitrogen N2. So if this nitrite will be converted to nitrate, it is showing colorless, and if it is further reacted with the alpha naphthalamine, then it shows the red precipitate. Here we can see this red color. So finally we can have the color red formation, that is reduction to NO2. If there is no reduction, it is uninoculated, and it is reduction to N2. There is full colorless solution, that is conversion to N2, nitrogen gas. This will be how the nitrate reduction test occurs. The nitrate may not have been reduced. The strain may be negative. The nitrate may have been reduced to nitrite, has been completely reduced to nitric oxide, nitrous oxide or nitrogen, which will not react with the reagent. So at that time the strain is nitrate positive. If there is no nitrate formation, then that particular strain will be treated as a nitrate negative. But if there is a reduction to nitric oxide, nitrous oxide or nitrogen, then that particular organism will be considered as nitrate positive. Thus, when if nitrite is not detected, it is necessary to test if the organism has reduced the nitrate beyond the nitrite. Sometimes it may happen that nitrate may be converted beyond that nitrate. So this cannot indirectly it can be done by adding small amount of zinc powder to the culture. Zinc powder catalyzes the reduction of nitrate to nitrite. So the development of the red color on addition of zinc indicates that nitrate was not reduced by the organism, which suggests that test organism is not capable of reducing. Suppose although we are unsure that whether it is completely reduced or not, so at that time zinc powder can be a very useful material which shows a red color. If the red color is observed, then it shows that the organism is not capable to have the reduction of nitrate to nitrite. But if there is no color change after addition of zinc, that indicates that organism has reduced the nitrate into the further nitrogen compounds which cannot be detected by this particular test. Now next is the sugar fermentation test. This is tested in the media which will be containing the single carbohydrate, and it will be used as a diagnostic bacteriology. So the term sugar, it indicates that sugar will be containing monosaccharide, disaccharide, polysaccharide, trisaccharide, etc. Usually the sugar media consists of 1% of the sugar in a peptone water along with an appropriate indicator, a small tube, that is Durham's tube, which will be used and it will be kept inverted, and here the sugar tube is detected for the gas production. If there is a gas production, then it indicates that there is a fermentation of sugar. So if acid production is shown by change in the color pink to red, then gas produced, it is collected in the Durham's tube. If it is positive, it will be showing the color change as well. If it is negative, it will remain as it is initially. Then here addition of the organism, and if it is having the fermentation, then it shows the gas production. Here there is no gas production, hence it particular test is negative, that is carbohydrate fermentation test is negative, and this particular test is positive.